No maid lasted a month in the house of Kyung. Some quit before sunrise, some left shaking, and one never came back. Working for him didn't mean cleaning, it meant surviving. So when a new maid walked in, with blood on her apron, everyone expected the same ending. They were wrong. The house of Kyung wasn't a home. It was a fortress of glass and steel, cold, precise, untouchable, just like the man who owned it, Yoo Kyung. A man who didn't tolerate mistakes, didn't tolerate noise, didn't tolerate people. They said he didn't fire maids, he erased them. That morning, something shattered inside his office. Glass. Then silence. Then his voice exploded. "You think this is acceptable?" A man twice the size of everyone else stood trembling in front of him. No one moved. No one spoke. Because when Yoo Kyung lost his temper, things broke. Sometimes objects, sometimes people. A crystal paperweight flew across the room and exploded against the wall. No one dared breathe. Until the door opened. No knock, no hesitation, it just opened. She walked in, black and white uniform, hair tied back, posture straight, calm. Too calm. Julianne J. Franco, the new maid. Her eyes scanned the room once, the shattered glass, the terrified employees, the man everyone feared. Then she walked forward, past all of it, and started cleaning. No greeting, no apology, no fear. Yoo Kyung turned slowly, not angry, confused. His eyes dropped, to her hands, to the cloth, then to the stain on her apron. Dark red. Old. Not from this room. "You're new." His voice was quiet now, dangerous. She didn't look up. Clearly. Silence fell harder than his shouting ever could. No one had ever answered him like that. He stepped closer. The air tightened. Everyone waited, for the moment he would break her. But she didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't even breathe differently. And for the first time in years, Yoo Kyung wasn't looking at someone weaker than him. He was looking at someone he didn't understand. He roared again. Threats, power, violence, the kind that made people beg. But she just watched him, like a doctor studying a patient. Then she spoke. "Your blood pressure is dangerously high." The room froze. "If you continue like this, you'll have a stroke before noon." She stepped forward. "Would you like tea, or should I clean the glass first?" He grabbed her apron, pulled it closer. The stain. Fresh. Too fresh. "This isn't from a train." He looked into her eyes, searching for fear, for guilt, for anything. He found nothing. "I'm a maid," she said softly. "I clean messes, not explain how they were made." Within days, the house began to change. Cameras adjusted. Blind spots disappeared. Furniture moved, not for beauty, but for survival. She fixed things he didn't even know were broken. Sniper angles, entry points, escape routes. Yoo Kyung noticed, slowly, carefully. The maid was reorganizing his entire empire, without asking. Then it happened. A delivery. A man in a red uniform. Unremarkable, forgettable. Except, he stood wrong, moved wrong, breathed wrong. Julianne saw it instantly. Yoo Kyung didn't. The man reached into his bag, not for food, for a gun. He turned, aimed, and before he could fire, she moved. Fast. Precise. The silver tray cracked across his face. Bone snapped. Gun fired into the floor. In seconds, he was down. Unconscious. Finished. Julianne adjusted her apron, picked up the tray, and calmly said, "The seal was broken." "I assumed he wasn't here to deliver food." That's when everything fell apart. Yoo Kyung collapsed. Poison. Glass shattered. His body gave out. Outside gunfire, explosions. The silent council had made their move, and the most dangerous man in Seoul couldn't even stand. Julianne caught him before he hit the ground. No panic, no hesitation. She moved. Like she had done this before. Dragged him, locked the door, checked his pulse, forced antidote down his throat. While outside, war began. "They think they trapped a lion," she whispered. "They don't realize. They locked themselves in with me." She removed the apron. Gone. The maid disappeared. Underneath, black tactical gear. Weapons hidden in the walls. Guns in her hands. Cold, precise, lethal. The quiet maid was never a maid. They came through the vents. 3 men. Armed, trained. Dead in seconds. She moved like a ghost. No wasted motion, no wasted breath. The house was no longer under attack. It was hunting. "You found the file, didn't you?" Her father, Joseph Franco. The man who built him, protected him, saved him. Yoo Kyung looked at her, not as a maid, not as an employee, but as legacy. "I wasn't testing you," he said. "I was waiting for you to remember who you are." Rain poured across the rooftop. The man who destroyed her father stood trembling, gun raised. One shot, and it would all end. Years of pain, gone. But she lowered it. "Death is too easy. You'll live, and watch me take everything." 6 months later, The house was silent, not from fear, from control. Kyung no longer shouted, he didn't need to, because beside him stood something far more dangerous. They called her the Ghost Queen. And in the house of Kyung, silence was no longer weakness.